This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.
Good morning and welcome to Today in the News. President Bola Tinubu has upgraded the national honors previously conferred on the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Tajudeen Abbas, from the Commander of the Federal Republic, the CFR, to the Grand Commander of the Order of the Niger, GCON. This follows criticism from the House, which argued that the Speaker should receive an honor equal to that of the Senate President, who was awarded the GCON award. The upgrade addresses the concerns over parity between the two leaders and is in line with the national order precedents. Joining us this morning to discuss the national honors debate examining the legal framework and its implications is constitutional lawyer Tunji Abayomi. Good morning, sir, and thank you for joining us. Here.
Morning, can you hear me?
All right.
Morning?
Yes.
Okay. Good morning to your audience.
It's good to have you this morning, sir.
Very well, thank you.
So let's get into the meat of the matter. Now, help us understand the legal framework governing the conferment of national honors in Nigeria, and how does it determine the hierarchy of who gets which awards, like the GCON and the CFR?
That's the prerogative of the president to determine that. But I think the position of the House of Assembly is that the legislature, the National Assembly is one. While it is true that the Senate represents a higher chamber, the majority of representatives covering the larger part of the nation belongs to the majority of the representatives are in the House of Representatives. And in terms of numbers, the House of Representatives cover the larger part of Nigeria. And therefore, you cannot limit the honor conferred on the House of Representatives to an honor that is lower than that of the Senate. And then there's some logic in that.
Interesting. The House of Reps, in its argument, asserts that the Senate President is not higher position-wise than the Speaker of the House. Now, I'm curious about the Constitution because I know that you just said that, who gets which award, whether it's a GCFR or GCON or whichever one, is the prerogative of the president, right? But what is the stance of the Constitution regarding this? In other words, does the Constitution or any legal document explicitly outline the equality of the Senate President and the Speaker of the House of Representatives?
In terms of rating, the Senate President is higher. As you are well aware, the Senate covers only 3 senators are electable from each state of the Federation to sit to represent the various constituencies. And so we have less number in the Senate. But if you look at the principle of democracy, which essentially, basically is the majority carries the vote, then of course you will defer to the House of Representatives. But the reality of the matter, it is not correct that the Senate isn't higher, the Senate is higher. But the truth also is that in a democracy, this division is de-emphasized because they are expected to jointly take decisions. There are, for example, some decisions that are taken solely by the Senate. I think some appointees, when they go to the Senate, And once these appointees are approved by the Senate without going to the House of Representatives, they become legitimate and lawful in conformity with the Constitution. When you look at the number of people based on the principle of majority carries the vote, you would think that since the House of Representatives are larger in number, they actually should be rated higher than the Senate, but that is not so. The Senate is actually higher in terms of representation, because each senator, you will realize, represents about 6 local governments, one person. And in the case of House of Representatives, usually the House of Representatives represents generally 2 constituencies, usually 2 local governments. So it is not correct. I think it's carrying it a little too far to say the Speaker of the House is equal in terms of ranking to the President of the Senate.
Interesting. In your view, was President Bola Tinubu's decision to upgrade the Speaker's honor more of a political move or a necessary correction?
It's more of a political move. It's basically more political move. I think it's just an attempt to maintain peace and order. Government is elected in our constitutional system for peace, order, and good government. And so, the issue of conferment of national honor is not sufficient, in my view, and I'm sure in the view of the President, to cause division, at least within the National Assembly, in terms of amity with the executive.
All right. Thank you so much, sir, for your thoughts this morning. We've been talking to Tunji. Yes, we've been talking to Tunji Abayomi, who is a constitutional lawyer on the national honors debate, examining the legal frameworks and the implication as well. And we have more conversations coming up today in the news. But for now, we'll take a quick break and we'll return.
This is Radio Now 95.3 FM. Come for the news, stay for informed conversations.